I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
He has returned with a mission.
Warlock is here. What does that command?
There are 5 stones. You must possess them all.
If he finds the stones of power, he'll hold destruction in the palm of his hand.
I've come for the stone.
It's not for sale.
I never said anything about buying it.
He must be stopped before he destroys creation.
It is time.
Warlock, the Armageddon, rated R.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time from Dan. If anyone's interested in requesting any other type of videos or topics or reactions or random or pretty much anything, feel free to request it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. Now, this is for Warlock 2, the Armageddon. Now, to be honest, I haven't seen the first Warlock. I know there's a third one. The first two have Julian Sands. The third one, I think, has Bruce Payne. And the first Warlock, I believe, was directed by the same guy who directed House. And Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3, Steve Miner, I believe. And then this one's actually directed by Anthony Hickox. Now, Anthony Hickox, if that name sounds familiar, if you're a horror movie fan, he did Waxwork, Waxwork 2 Lost in Time, Full Eclipse with Mario Van Peebles, Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. All films I've enjoyed. He also did the Steven Seagal film Submerged, which it's not all his fault. He had to work with changing the script last minute and Steven Seagal's fat ass. Now, I would say this film I didn't mind. I thought it was okay. Strictly for Julian Sands and for the effects, the kills, the imagination, their creativity. That's what made it work for me. That's what made it, at the very least, a time waster. Anthony Hickox at this time definitely tried to have a stylish direction. By a camera over the barrel of a gun shooting, and a POV of it's hitting someone. Certain framing where you have a person up close and then you have a person behind, but they're both in focus. Some of the stylish that you would see in the Waxwork films and Hellraiser 3. So Anthony Hickox at least was not a director that just sat the camera down, let things play, and move on. And I appreciate that. Like I said, he tried to bring a little bit of style to a lot of his movies. So I don't think the direction is the problem. The story is Julian Sands is the Warlock, son of the devil. He's come back. He needs these magic rune stones to release Satan. He needs to find all these. And it's sort of 2 movies that culminates into one in the third act. There's one movie, which was the more interesting one, is Julian Sands going to X, Y, and Z to get these stones, and these stones had to be given to him by choice. So it's him trying to trick people, kind of Wishmaster style, into getting these stones. And Julian Sands, he's given an over-the-top performance, but it's a fun performance. He's definitely relishing the role. Him and his scenes, that's what made the fun of it. The other story, you have a son, a boy and a girl who love each other, and you realize that their parents, their dads, they dealt with the Jewish religion, rituals, and the whole thing is they have to die, the son and the daughter, they have to die, and then when brought back, they get these powers, mostly on a telekinetic nature. So like the girl, her dad, who is a preacher, he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to kill his daughter, but when the daughter realizes what's going on, she stabs herself in order then to be resurrected and have these powers. The son, his dad is played by Steve Cahan. I recognize the guy. He played the captain in the Lethal Weapon films. All 4 Lethal Weapon films, he played the captain. And he's been a few bit, he was a tiny bit role in Predator 2. Other films as well. You also have R.G. Armstrong. That's the guy in Predator that sends Arnold onto the mission at the beginning, and then he's on the helicopter at the very end. He's like, oh my god, when he sees the big fucking mushroom cloud at the end of Predator. So it's cool to see those actors in there. But the young kids, I think their acting was shit. Honestly, I don't know if it was just the dialogue they were given or the actors chosen. They were not much of anything. I would rather have been R.G. Armstrong and Steve Cahan be the guys who battle Julian Sands. Why not? Why does it have to be this young couple and their love story? I didn't give a shit about the love story because I didn't give a shit about this couple because I thought the actors frankly sucked. I think the delivery was fake and phony. I didn't buy them in love. I didn't think they had chemistry with each other. And I didn't give a shit about anything of their druid warrior powers. I mean, at least Waxwork 1 and 2, I like Zad Galadian. Which, funny enough, he has a cameo in here when Julian Sands comes back. And there's some really fun, crazy effects. Like, he's born... Like, this woman gives birth to a full-grown male. Like a better version of Extro. I'll say that. And then that woman's date, who knocks on the door, is Zad Galadian. He's got a bunch of flowers. Like, who are you? And Julian Sands looks him up and down, goes, nice. Black. I guess killed Zad Galadian off screen, because then he has his clothes on. But when I mentioned the imagination creativity, like the woman who died, he took her stomach and did a little thing here, and there's a map on the skin of the stomach. So he's using the skin of a woman's stomach with a map etched into it. You don't see that every day. There's a moment where he's making this woman be so surprised that he can fly and said, yeah, I can fly, you can fly too. Oh yeah, thanks for that. Oh, by the way, rides over and drops her ass. A pretty good stunt crashing through. There's a person who's like an art dealer, and literally he turns him into a Picasso. So literally it's like the guy is a Picasso, like one eye's here, it's a weird painting, and then Julian Sands just twisting it just to fuck with him. There's a person that tries to stab him in an elevator, and you cut outside the elevator, you just hear screaming, and when Julian Sands leaves, the entire elevator is caked in blood and ass and probably skin, blood, and ass. And the guy who got killed is actually Charles Hallahan. He was in John Carpenter's The Thing. He's the guy in The Thing. When they do the paddles on him, and it's his stomach that opens up. That's Charlie Hallahan. He was also in Executive Decision. I believe you miss a role in like Space Jam. So that's what I mean. Anything to do with Julian Sands was fun. Like I said, his acting is over the top. He's having fun, relishing in the role. Like I said, the effects are entertaining to watch. Like, without the good guys noticing that R.G. Armstrong's beating on this something and not realizing that they're causing Julian Sands harm, and all this stuff is bleeding out, almost black type of blood, and these little pulses from and pus pockets from his face. One scene that's nicely directed is a funhouse scene where Julian Sands is chasing this guy and is going through this fun house, and the way it deals with the mirrors, I thought that was handled rather nicely. Oh, he takes the little guy. Actually, the little guy in Waxwork, if you ever seen the first Waxwork, you have the little guy that's like opens the door and greets people. He's in this, and fucking Julian Sands just takes him, and I think it's called the Iron Maiden. It's the thing that you close and has spikes in it. Impales that guy. I said, the thing with the mirrors and trapping a guy in the mirror world. There's a woman who's like, how's my hair look? And Julian Sands just rips the scalp off and goes, here, see for yourself. That's what I mean by Julian Sands having fun. Literally ripping a woman's scalp off who keeps saying, how do I look? How's my hair? See for yourself. That's what I mean. Julian Sands, the effects, the scenes with him make the film work, along with Anthony Hickox's stylish direction. It's just the other story, if you had two better actors, or did it need to be a love story with these two boring characters? And I'm sorry, the actors were not all that. Did it have to be? Just have it be R.G. Armstrong and Charlie Hallahan and Steve Caan. Have it be them. Doesn't it have to be a love story? Maybe they thought, well, the love stories don't bring the emotional values up by the end, but I don't care about this couple. I don't give a shit. Because the acting is piss poor. The writing on those characters are piss poor. Both of them don't work well with each other. You do get some decent action bits at the end. A little bit of... yeah, a little bit of action here and there. Again, some nice practical effects. Like, you got Zad Galligan. Why can't Zad Galligan be the lead? There you go. Have Zad Galligan with these older guys. And maybe Zad Galligan, there's this woman he loved, but she's passed away, and he thinks about her. And so by the end, when the Warlock's battling him, beating him down, maybe he has an image of his dead wife or girlfriend, and then he gets back up and kisses the Warlock's ass using the telekinetic, and then boom, happy trails, Hans. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, boom. Like, I mean, I see Zad Galligan, and I'm like, he would have been a better lead than these two kids. These two teens. I'm sorry. That, to me, is the weakest part of the film, is those two. And half the movie's their story. And that's, honestly, the lesser story. The story that works is Julian Sands and him just going around fucking people up, getting these stones. And that's ultimately why, again, it's a time waster. The ending is fine. Doesn't do any bullshit with the ending. The ending was fine for what it had to be. And, doesn't... because sometimes endings do stuff out of the blue. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. So, overall, I did like it. Not a bad film. Not a bad movie. Has issues. And yeah, I wish the leads were more likable. I wish the leads were more stronger, had stronger actors in their parts. I really do think that's the big detriment of the film. Because if I don't care about that hurts a lot of the story. Again, at least like Waxwork 1 and 2, Anthony Hickox's previous films, I like that did. Full Eclipse, which is a pretty good werewolf film. I like Mario Van Peebles, who's the lead. There's deals with werewolves and cops. I liked Mario. Hellraiser 3, the girl, not as good as Ashley Lawrence in Hellraiser 1 and 2. But honestly, we'd rather deal with her than the two teens in this. But, anyway. At least if you want to see the Warlock fuck some shit up, I guess if you're a fan of the first one, I don't think the sequel's bad. Not a bad film. Again, some inventive creativity, similar to Wishmaster, with the creative deaths, that type of thing. So, and I like the first Wishmaster. So there you go. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.